Hey, e-commerce Fastlane listeners, the holiday season is just around the corner, and now is the perfect time to level up your inventory planning. Now, you can join our 7-day inventory planning bootcamp and learn how to keep your stock optimized, your costs down, and your profits soaring, all just in 1 week. Now, each day you'll receive a quick, actionable email packed with expert tips and strategies to help you avoid stockouts, reduce excess inventory, and drive more sales. Now, it's designed to be simple and efficient. Now, each lesson takes less time than it is to finish your morning coffee. Now, during the bootcamp, you're going to gain valuable insights on assessing and analyzing your inventory performance, intelligent demand forecasting, strategies to reduce your excess stock, ordering inventory on a budget, evaluating technology solutions to inventory planning and management, and implementing a continuous improvement mindset. Now, are you ready to ensure that your store is stocked and prepared for the holidays? This bootcamp will equip you with the essential skills to set appropriate stock levels, to improve demand forecasting, and optimize your inventory management practices. You'll learn how to prevent cash from being tied up in excess stock while avoiding costly stockouts that can frustrate customers and impact your bottom line. Now, don't let the holiday rush catch you off guard. Take control of your inventory and set yourself up for success for a smooth and more profitable season. Now, this bootcamp is perfect for e-commerce entrepreneurs, especially those that are powered by Shopify who want to maximize their holiday sales potential while minimizing their inventory-related headaches. Now, you can sign up now at ecommercefastlane.com/inventory-planning, and you can start your journey to smarter inventory management today. Now, don't miss this opportunity to transform your inventory planning before the holiday rush.
You're listening to E-commerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company, powered by Shopify. Listen to real conversations with partners and subject matter experts as they share proven practical strategies, platforms, and the best Shopify apps to help you accelerate your business. The time is now for you to improve efficiencies, grow revenue, profit, and lifetime customer loyalty. Please welcome your host, startup founder, and strategic advisor, Steve Hutt.
Welcome back to another episode of E-commerce Fastlane. I'm your host, Steve Hutt, and today I'm thrilled to chat with this is an exciting fellow from New York City, originally from Russia. Creating an incredible platform is Danil Salikov, and he's the co-founder and CEO of a company called Insense, and they're at insense.pro. It's INSENSE.pro. Now, Danil really did some research kind of before recording today, and he is a seasoned entrepreneur. He's got over a decade of experience, both in MarTech, startups, and in e-commerce. His journey really started with a lot of passion around wanting to grow communities and scaling businesses, which kind of led him to be a co-founder now of this company. Now, their brand is very interesting because they're involved in the creator economy and the kind of the creator commerce marketplace, I'm going to call it. And really, it's used by a lot of D2C brands really to leverage user-generated content, this UGC, and using influencer marketing. All of these strategies we know are extremely important for brands, but a lot of them don't quite understand the execution of it. They know they need it. They know they want it. The challenge is finding the right creators, and then the whole execution of how do these campaigns all work? And then how do you justify the ROI of all of these campaigns? And I think that's one of the interesting things about this particular company is that they're really specializing in kind of boosting ad kind of creative effectiveness, and then in just growing the kind of the influencer and the affiliate programs for both direct to consumer. I've noticed even marketplace sellers. So they kind of do the best of both worlds. What's interesting too, I found, is that they are official partners for both Meta and TikTok. And we know TikTok is massively powerful right now for the Gen Z buyers. And the nice thing about it is they're using first-party data. There's been a lot of regulation kind of challenges that have been going on. I know we're going to dig into the Apple part of it. So it's really exciting to jump in. I know we are in Q4 right now, and I know I think brands are feeling a lot of squeeze right now when it comes to CPCs. These cost per clicks rise, which then the ROAS it gets out of control. A lot of people are making negative margin on, I always hear these stories about Black Friday and Cyber Monday, or even the whole holiday season. Oh, our sales are up 40%. Yeah, but we made no money, and that's no good. I know retention marketing is important, but today we're talking about like net new customers and how you can get them through UGC and through the creator economy. So I think it's a great time being in Q4. So hi, Danil. Welcome to E-commerce Fastlane.
Hi, Steve. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Oh, my pleasure. So let's kick things off a little bit about what drew you. I always ask this question because I want to find out, why did you choose all industries? Because you've been in a few different industries in your career, but why have you tried to plant your flag in the sands now in the e-commerce industry?
That is a great question, because I never imagined myself in e-commerce, to be honest, even though like I have some experience of selling some goods to people like on the streets when I was in college. But we founded the first business with my brother back in university. So when just starting an advertising company, and it was out-of-door advertising, where we're just selling the panels and then you can buy the slots there. So that was an incredible experience. And it was more like about the advertising, because I was fascinated that you can actually sell something that helps to sell. And I am really passionate about sales. But e-commerce industry, it's only because of my brother. So he's a co-founder of InSense, and he was always a serial entrepreneur. He founded a couple of e-commerce shops, successfully exited both. And then he founded his own social media boutique agency to help other entrepreneurs to get some social media strategy as well as the advertising capabilities, because he was damn good in buying media on Facebook. And not only, but he realized that I want to build a platform to get connected to those entrepreneurs with the UGC creators and influencers, because he couldn't find the one. He had Google spreadsheets, and he was reach out to those influencers via email or messengers. It wasn't really effective for his team. And then he realized that, yes, building a platform that is going to be great. While I was building my successful corporate career, got promotions every 6-12 months on my path to becoming like a C-suite. But then he pitched me this idea, and then I was like, I'm down, because I was an industry head for a couple of categories, such as online games and digital content. So I was the main person for Google or Facebook or Riot Games to provide them with the payment methods, as well as doing the co-marketing. So I saw that millions are coming through those, like through us, like for those companies for digital content. So digital content is becoming more and more important. So my brother pitched me this. He's still saying that it's the best sales that he have ever made in his life, because I'm a salesperson. So that's how I stepped in like to this world of e-commerce. And to be honest, I'm fascinating. I'm seeing that how e-commerce is evolving every single, I would say like not even a year, but every single 6 months, something is changing here. And like a new technology, new regulations, new platforms, new capabilities on those platforms. So we've been building a platform for creator marketing, specifically for e-commerce, for 8 years. And I've been seeing that how e-commerce is also evolving in terms of like how they're approaching the things. So
I see. It's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. It's always interesting how people get involved in an industry. I mean, the same thing with like, e-commerce Fastlane, like just having the blog itself. People always have like, how did this thing start? I'm like, well, to be honest with you, I just a digital brain for me. I just wanted to have a place that I could kind of like, share and curate and syndicate some content like we're doing today. We're sharing about what's going on in an ecosystem, and I think part of it was the idea came, post exit of my startup. And they're like, hey, I really enjoy e-commerce. That was a really fun ride, and took an exit, but how do I kind of pay that forward? And that's kind of why we're here today, because I believe that you've built an incredible system. And I've done lots of research. I got a few other questions here that I want to chat with you today about, because I think, us being in Q4 right now, I think there is this squeeze that I mentioned at the top of the show about just because there's so much competition, there's only so much share of wallet of the customers, but there's a lot of buyers out there right now. But where there's a lot of buyers, there's also a lot of competition. And we know e-commerce continues to grow. Even, I know it dipped a bit kind of post-pandemic, but then it's still back on that ride going up and to the right. So more and more people are adopting kind of, e-commerce, but knowing that, it's just like, well, how do you acquire net new customers as cheaply as possible? And then how do you nurture those customers into raving fans? And I think that's part of kind of how InSense fits into that mix. So I want to talk up first about some of the privacy policy issues? Because I think that's one of the reasons why your platform is doing so well. Maybe let's talk about these updates that have happened, because I know that it's had a significant impact in digital advertising as far as, you think about like the data collection. I think it's like iOS 14.5 or whatever, I think was the starting point. And, Apple kind of closing that walled garden and not really allowing anybody to retarget people. And so I'd love to hear from your perspective about like understand the landscape, like what happened, and then how does your platform kind of allow you to still market to people, even though Apple is kind of really keeping things tight now?
Yeah, it's interesting to see that how e-commerce was on the rise in 2020, right? When literally almost everyone starting their own Amazon business or a DTC shop, because it was so easy to start with and capital access was fascinating. But then in 2021, what happened with the entire industry is exactly iOS 14 and all regulations around that Apple is not longer share data signals with ad platforms such as Facebook, Google, you name it. All of these platforms, they stopped receiving these signals. And the way how it impacted the whole landscape is that you cannot really optimize your solution and the advertising, like ad creative that you're going to be targeting to the audience, because you're lacking 30 or even 50% of the audience, because they are going to be going through their iPhones and browsing something. So in that case, the efficiency of the advertising dropped down. And the only way how you can win right now is by launching the campaigns that is going to be using the broad audience, right? You are not longer able to say that I need only male with such interest age like 30 to 40. So it's not going to be working, because the more niche you go, the less audience is going to be available for you. And in that case, your price is going to be higher in auction, right? So that's like number one. And then like the question that marketers ask themselves, and that was also the answer by Meta, TikTok, all of these major platforms. The only way how to win, it's not right now for the targeting. It's more about how many creatives do you need to produce. So the game that was before 2021 was you find the winners, you continue buying the traffic, everything's fine, you're refreshing your creatives. So right now you need to produce, depends on your volume, right? But you need to produce and test around 10, 20 creatives a month at least. Otherwise, you're going to be losing a lot. And that's the only way. So someone says that ad creatives is a new targeting. So basically, that's the only lever that you currently have. And that was one of the things. But then at the same time, what happened with the whole space in social media is the rise of TikTok. So TikTok changed the game and the way how people interact and entertain with the content and how they spend their time. And then that's the biggest reason why Instagram launched Reels, which is copy-paste in many ways of TikTok. Yeah. And then Snap, they have their own version. And then YouTube with their shorts. Like every single platform, they launch something similar to TikTok, because that is the future. That is the fast-consuming content. It is what it is. Like you can have different opinion. For instance, I still love YouTube long-format content, but like sometimes I can browse my Instagram for 10 minutes and then watching these Reels and making some fun and like entertainments. But anyway, the point is that once TikTok has been on this rise in 2020, 2021, so the way how we're starting consuming the content also changed a lot. So right now, you need to produce the content that is going to be in more user-generated way, meaning that it should be not a highly polished content like a TV commercial style. It should be something that had been produced by humans for humans, as simple as it is. And that's why these two major things that is happening at the same time, that in 2021, you need to produce a lot of content. But what kind of the content? It's not longer just static images. You need to produce a lot of content that is going to be appealing and entertaining, meaning UGC or influencer content. So that's why we have seen a lot of growth for us. It was both disaster for the entire market, and marketers in many ways turned out to be for us a great success.
Yeah, this is amazing. And so I noticed that, like, I guess there's two sides to your platform. There's the one side is for the creatives themselves who say, hey, I want to create a side hustle, or I have a large enough audience that I want to promote certain brands. and I feel great on camera and I have some creative ideas and some editing abilities. And so it seems like there is that part of the platform of, of influencer scouting and kind of getting in there and then creating an account and saying, hey, I'm ready and available when you are. So there's that side of the business. And then the other side of the platform are for those that are looking to get involved with creators. So can you talk about maybe the nuances between those two? Like there's the creators that make themselves available, but then there's this kind of creator marketplace available inside Insense.
Yeah. When we build the Insense, we have the idea about how to help both sides. It's not only about e-commerce marketers, right, but also how to connect them with the UGC creators and micro-influencers and vice versa. I think this is one of the biggest differentiator between us and so many other solutions out there, that we really care about our creators. Obviously, we care about our clients, such as e-commerce brands, D2C brands, Amazon sellers, or Amazon aggregators, or multi-brands, or agencies. We care about all of them because they are paying money. But at the same time, if we're not going to be caring about UGC creators and influencers, in that case, the value that they're going to be delivering is going to be also low. So that's why we're treating and we're calling customers both sides of the platform.
Mm-hmm.
The vibe of the platform is like Upwork or Fiverr. So it's a freelance marketplace where you can submit your offer and then getting some opt-ins from the vetted network of creators. Yeah, the difference is basically from one of the side where help them making money and actually becoming full-time creators. And many of them, they actually report us back saying that, hey guys, we never imagined ourselves being a full-time creator, because I spoke with one of the best performance. It's a couple. They're around 50s. So pretty matured, right? Though they are super popular on TikTok and they're able to produce a great content. So they told us we never imagined ourselves to become a full-time creator, though we're starting doing some gigs on Insense, on other platform, and it's starting increasing, and we're starting making actual money. We're starting paying our bills, our rent, our travel with that. So right now we're full-time creators. So such stories is why we're doing this. It's because the creator economy has been under the pressure in the past couple of years because it was a lot of bets. But you know what? I think many people, they over-expected from this market that is going to be increasing significantly by 10x or 100x. Well, give it some time. So it's still growing and growing, fascinating. And I think the impact that we're currently doing for those creators is that they can literally become an independent entrepreneurs. So in that case, we have the patient that we are helping other entrepreneurs from one hand, like e-commerce brands, and from another hand, creators as the entrepreneurs.
That's amazing. So let's say a brand decides, yeah, you know what? We see the benefits in having some good creators promote our products on social, but not really a full-time employee, just literally they're hired on to kind of do work. How do they get paid? Are there different kind of revenue models for creators? Is it a performance-based opportunity? Is it a flat rate opportunity? Is it like a revenue share? Just kind of walk us through the different types of creators that are on your platform and how they interact with brands.
Great question. We started with as simple as it is with just a flat fee. So you can find creators on our platform. You submit with a brief and saying that I'm ready to pay up to, let's say, $500 per publication. So a number of assets that are going to be delivered. So though we're also evolving with the industry. And I think the industry, the combination of creator commerce, is also evolving towards from being just a flat fee towards more performance-based. Right now, we have different ways how to compensate to creators. One of the way is just a standard flat fee. The second one is a product seeding campaign. So you can compensate for the work with the products. It's no strings attached. You send 100 products to creators. Maybe 10, maybe 15, maybe 20 of them will produce something. Though you can find those people who genuinely love your product. This is the second type. The third one is affiliate fees. So you can compensate creators with just affiliate fee from the revenue that they've been generated for your D2C brand, for Amazon, for TikTok shop. And the last one is a hybrid. So it's a combination of a smaller flat fee and some affiliate fee. And I think this is the biggest winner right now because of TikTok Shop. So we're going to be chatting about this later on, I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like for TikTok Shop right now, the competition in the market, it's definitely on the side of demand, meaning that there are less creators who are ready to work with for such volume that is coming from clients. So that's why you need to make sure that your brand is going to be stand out for creators. And on our platform, we incentivize to say that pay just a smaller fee, let's say $50. In return, you're going to getting the assets that you can repurpose across the ads, multiple platform, and then compensate with affiliate fees where the creator can make a lot of money, right? So I would say hybrid, the combination of flat fee plus affiliate fee is the most popular one on our platform right now.
That's interesting. I remember chatting with someone about UGC, and I think they had a tool that just literally like scraped the internet or, the Instagram, and, when a brand was mentioned, and then going through the process of rights management on that, because a lot of people have just produced content around a certain brand just because they really like it. And there's not even any partnership or affiliate relationship. They want to share with they're building their career and their personal brand. And they just feel like they just want their 15 minutes of fame. And they're hoping that the brand sees that they mentioned them and maybe there's going to be an opportunity. And so, but it comes back to the challenge of rights management about like who gets to own the content. And so I think that's what's unique about your platform is that, I don't know how many creators you have, but like more than 20,000, some creators that are vetted, but there's a process of getting them vetted. But then once they create content, part of the financial arrangement, the hybrid or however you do it, there's obviously a process to saying, hey, the assets that are created that, turn out to be winners for a certain project or campaign, they can be re-leveraged again and again, even though the fees already been paid on other networks and other different things or other different channels and stuff. So can you walk us through a little bit about that, just so I get clear about rights management and who owns the assets and just kind of like the repurposing of assets in the future, even like on PDP pages. And like there's so many places where this UGC content is very powerful.
Yeah. For us, there's a rule that you as a creator need to accept to join our vetted network of creators is that you're going to be, once the payment is delivered to you, you're going to be transferred the full rights, lifetime, digital. Meaning that then client, e-commerce brand can repurpose this content across digital, lifetime, whatever way they want.
Nice.
So this is the rule for us. And I know this might be different for other platforms that saying that, you can have the usage rights management and buy this content license for like 3 months more, 6 months more. But you know what? What we learned that you're running the ads, and for instance, you have a winner. You never turn off your winner. Just like there's a rule, like you never, like even though like something is going wrong, like you never turn off your winner. Otherwise, it's never going to be a winner again. So, and then imagine that you forget to request to buy rights for another like 3 months or 6 months or even a year. And you just forget about that. And you need to turn off. Like, this is disaster. And keeping in mind that you are running 90 ad assets or you constantly switching and keeping in mind, okay, this is the content that I need to pay for and where and how. This is nightmare. So that's why for us, it was always, once the job is done, we're going to be transferring all copyrights to you for the lifetime. Otherwise, it's going to be just a nightmare to manage this.
So let's talk about the work effort a bit. I'm going to get into TikTok Shops in a minute because I know that's a really important thing. Shopify's alignment, your alignment. But like, what's the work effort of a marketing team for a D2C brand? If they get involved with Incense, they find a couple creators and they start building a relationship and they get some assets. Is it still the exact same process as far as getting these assets out into the appropriate channels and then whatever their marketing spend is and then their analytics tools and just, I guess what I'm trying to understand is that like, what part of the equation are you? You're just the introduction and then the asset creation. And then from there, these assets are delivered. And then from there, the marketer just continues to take over like they would as if they were building them in-house. Is that kind of how the process works?
Yes, it is. when someone is asking us like, hey guys, are you helping to run the ads? Or are you charging any percent from ad spend? No, we don't. We're not charging like anything. We're saying that we are a complementary service for performance marketer. We are providing you with the bullets to get a shot. Like we're not in charge like how we're going to be getting a shot, like how the accuracy is going to be and the results, but we're going to be providing you with something to get a shot. And our key purpose is to making sure that you're aware of what's going on. We're also working on some performance reporting dashboards inside of the platform. So in that case, you can close the loop and understand that, okay, I tried, something worked really great and I want to understand why. Something didn't work at all and I want to understand why. So in that case, you can adjust your creative briefing or selection of the creators and make another round differently. So this is something that we are working on, just to making sure that we're going to be closing the loop, but we're not going to be touching media buying at all.
Okay. All right. I just wanted just to be clear on that. So that's excellent because I did see that spot on the website that you do offer these sort of done for you services, either the dedicated platform manager or ready to go UGC videos. And there's a small fee that goes along with that sort of management. So it's good to know that the marketers just can continue taking it on as far as the assets that they would have produced themselves, but now they have external partners and creators helping with that and trying to A/B test the winners and then doubling down on that. Or you also have this kind of, as you said, the market is evolving right now. So there is that option. So let's pivot to TikTok because I know it's an important topic. I said right now with Gen Z buyers, it's a massive, massive amount of buyers on there, engagement levels, the revenue, hence why Shopify really doubled down. You folks, I think you were the second kind of tech partner creator with TikTok shops. I think kudos to you and your team for building that relationship and getting approved on that. And so I think you have a very unique vantage point being kind of like early on in this kind of life cycle of TikTok shops. So what are the opportunities do you see right now for brands that might not be marketing at all or effectively in TikTok? They may have a TikTok shop, but they're not really, or they have TikTok an account and they're just willy-nilly just kind of like getting content out there and see if something goes viral, but they're not really doing it effectively through the shops and through good creators that understand the nuances. Because TikTok is a very unique platform for young people. Yeah. And there's some nuances about thumb stopping and how you can get people to add to cart from within the platform. So I just want to hear how you got approved and kind of what you believe the opportunity is here.
Absolutely. Yeah, once TikTok Shop got launched, we already been a TikTok creator partner for 5 years or so. So we've been longer in the game building relations with them. Though TikTok Shop is an absolute separate team. Right. Not absolutely, but quite separate team. Similar. Separate decision, a separate certification process. And our approach to the platforms was always about being compliant and being transparent. Because if you're building something around Shopify or Meta or TikTok, you want to be compliant as much as possible and also align your strategy. So in that case, you can get some of the insights and adjust something in your product. So that's what we have done with Meta and TikTok back in the days. And once the TikTok Shop has become what it is right now, so we're starting communicating with their teams and we became an official TikTok Shop partner back in February of this year. Okay. Where we're starting learning how it works and how we shall adjust our platform and our services and just making sure that we're going to be delivering these affiliate deals that are different from just any other affiliate deals for your D2C brand, because everything is happening within the closed ecosystem where the checkout process is there, the discovery of the product is there, the communication with your affiliates is there. So it's kind of like a closed ecosystem. And we're starting also understanding how Incense is going to be an essential part for this. So yeah, building relations and investing hardly on getting in touch with the right team and the right people. That was the number one thing. Like once we get there, we're starting learning massively across the whole team. It's not been like only me, but my team also starting getting in their webinars or educational materials. And then we're starting launching more and more campaigns that is happening on Incense with a campaign types called TikTok Shop. So basically, the more and more brands are stepping and joining our platform primarily because of TikTok Shop campaigns. They want to expand their outreach and they want to also finding the high quality content via our platform. Because what is important to understand that TikTok Shop, as much as it's affiliate first platform, at the same time, it's not only organic and it's not only paid. If you're coming to this platform with the understanding, let me find hundreds of affiliates and work with them and I'm going to be successful. Well, yes, at a certain point you're going to be successful, though like you will be capped with your success. You need to bring paid or vice versa. Some of the folks, they're coming to TikTok Shop with the mind that let me run paid ads there. Why do I need to even bother myself of finding affiliates and deal with them?
Right.
When I can just run ads, it's simple, right? I need content, I need targeting, and let's go. So they're also failing. So what is the right approach with the TikTok Shop right now? It's only organic plus paid. So if you're doing both, then you can succeed. And that's actually the whole vision of our company and always have been. It's how to merge organic and paid, how to help the same team to source better content and better identities for feeding paid campaigns, but at the same time, how to work with the pretty much the same people or slightly different for the organic first campaign. So the merging of organic and paid is the most fascinating part of creator commerce that is happening right now. And I'm glad that we have been always there. And that's a big part of our vision.
Yeah, I remember I published an article, I don't know, maybe a month back, talking about the kind of projected growth and kind of the market share that TikTok Shop has. And I know that they're looking at approximately $17 billion for 2024. So it's like a 10x from 2023. So it's clearly here. If you're not on TikTok Shops, you very well should be. And that's where your platform comes in, because there are some professional, highly credible, creators available on your platform right now that understand how to create content on TikTok. And it's a learning curve to do it well. But the opportunity of like the $17 billion that's happening, it really is a huge, and I even read another stat too, that they say 43% of Gen Z shoppers plan to spend more this holiday season compared to only 37% of millennials. So the stats prove it, the fact that Gen Z shoppers who are on TikTok, they're going to spend more and they love the TikTok Shop opportunity and they love good creators and they love good contents.
Yeah, that's number one. And secondly, some people thinking that, TikTok in general is only for Gen Z. Well, it's not. The data saying that it's not, right? People age 30, 40, 50 years old are spending a lot of time on TikTok. That's number one. And the second point is why Amazon is so, they're not worried, they're not concerned about that, and it's not yet the red flag or red code, right? That's the way how it's called, that they seeing that, this is the can we exist with the TikTok Shop together, right? But they definitely taking a look on this and trying to think how they can also evolve towards TikTok Shop, because you know what is the point? So Gen Z is a Gen Z right now, so they don't have like a lot of cash in their pockets, but they're ready to spend. And you know what? In 5-10 years, they're going to be like the ones who are actually the most active in spending money, because they're going to be getting their jobs, got promoted, having a lot of cash to spend. And how to capture these intentions, because for some of the folks, Amazon is not going to be cool. And that's what is happening right now. For Gen Z, Amazon is not cool. Cool to spend, cool to spend your time, cool to spend money for your e-commerce purchases. That's the whole thing. I think that's the whole reason, is that first of all, TikTok Shop is not only for Gen Z right now, so it's already happening. And secondly, I think other platforms, they also worry how to be the cool destination for the future generations, because in 5 years, they're going to be the ones who are going to be spending a lot of money.
It's interesting, you know what? And I just pulled up my article, and these stats are actually correct. And I should have remembered this, but 25% of US TikTok users are aged 10 to 19. 25%. So, but then it's 22%, 20 to 29, another 21% or 30 to 39, another 20% or 40 to 49, and then 11% or 50 plus. And so clearly to think that it's just, it's just people that are like under the age of 19, that's not true. It's only a quarter of their traffic.
Yes.
And where the money is the other 75%, which is the 20 to 50 year olds. And they're definitely on TikTok. And that's a really good takeaway for this episode that people need to realize.
Yeah. And in 5-10 years, those who are on this quarter of 10 to 19, they're going to become the ones who are going to be spending a lot. So,
yeah, 100%.
And for them, it might be, again, going to Amazon is not going to be something that they tend to go. It might be TikTok Shop or any other platform. So who is going to be like TikTok Shop?
Yeah, 100%. So let's talk about some misconceptions, because I think there are some brands that, and I mentioned it a little bit in this episode, that they feel that there are benefits of influencer marketing. They understand the creator economy. They understand all these things. Maybe they've tried to produce some of their own content in-house. Sometimes it comes across as disingenuous a bit, sometimes a little bit salesy versus, different angles of how you talk about the features and the benefits of something, not pushing it too hard. I know a lot of times TikTok doesn't. A lot of people that are buying don't really want to see the buy now button and buy this thing. It's so great. They just don't want that kind of angle. So can you talk a bit about maybe some myths or any misconceptions around influencer marketing? And then, if you can kind of address those for my audience, because I want to make sure that people realize that there are some misconceptions, and you being entrenched in this space, in the creator economy, and understanding what success looks like for D2C using the creators that are on your platform. I think you've learned a lot along the way, and it's nice if you can kind of pay that forward for those that are not involved yet.
Yeah. I've been observed some of the misconceptions or misunderstanding of the space, because some of the brands, especially those who just started, they read an article or a LinkedIn post seeing that one of the brand has great success with the influencer marketing and started making tons of money. So if we're going to be doing something similar, then it's going to be a success. Well, it's not, because it's just a channel, and you need to find your own way how to do that. So there is no silver bullet for that. You need to learn how it's going to be working, and it's not going to be happening within one day. I mean, if you're lucky enough, yes, it could happen, but if you're not lucky enough, then it's a hard work and then it's a long-term game. So You need to understand that if you're deciding to go to influencer marketing, it's a long-run game. So You need to prepare the systems. You need to start small. You need to find what actually works for you, what kind of the creator profile works for you. And then based on that, you need to build the systems and the team behind of that to get this system to be ready to scale. And at a certain point, once you start in the scale, you need to find the right software for you to make this scale possible. So there are a lot of steps towards that. It's definitely not overnight situation where you're going to be hiring 200 influencers and then here you go 2 million in GMV. Well, this is definitely a misconception. The second one is that many brands, they undervalue brand awareness power of influencer marketing, because many e-commerce brands, they've been founded by ex or current performance marketers. So those people who know how to buy media, they know how to drive affiliate marketing. So any way how to drive something that I pay something and I expect the ROAS and I expect my return right away. That's right. That's the best players in the game, the way how they executed the things. But at the same time, I would say outstanding brands is the ones who also understand that you need to invest in your brand awareness, because you want to differentiate yourself in the market, especially if you're in D2C space. On Amazon, brand power is not that strong, to be honest, because that's the vibes of the marketplaces, right? There is a lot of pressure between the price and in other items. Though on D2C space, it's super important. It's crucial to build a brand, because that is the part of your equity, right? Brand equity, what potential acquirer can pay you for. It's not only about customer base, but and revenue numbers, but also about your brand equity. And I think the misconception is that do not work with influencers to get some reach, like organic reach, and expecting that everything should be only performance driven. So this is definitely the misconception. The thing is that you also need to understand when is the right moment and how to deliver this brand awareness, because obviously you don't have crazy budgets. You might be a small brand and you don't have, a couple of grand to spend on this influencer marketing. So what you can do seeding campaigns, but it's also possible finding ways how to get this brand awareness. The third one is that many people, they are underestimating that influencers could be used in different ways, because many people, they're thinking about influencers right now from the perspective of getting either brand awareness campaigns, affiliate campaigns, and that's it. But influencers can also deliver influencer whitelisted content and like ads. It's basically where you can connect to the influencer handle and running the ads with them. So This is like one of the most powerful things that's happening. It's called partnership ads on Meta and Spark ads on TikTok, but the concept is about whitelisting. Another way is that you can find influencers who would be working with you for a few months as the contractor on a retainer, and they will produce tons of the content for your brand account. Because what a lot of folks, they're missing is that you can produce great UGC content that is going to be performing and crushing. Though me as a customer, I can click to your brand account on Instagram or TikTok, going to your brand account there and seeing that, you have only 15 followers and 3 posts that have been published 1 year ago. So it's a social proof. It's influence on your decision whether you're going to be consider to buy something or not. So in that case, you can work with the influencers to produce the content. And if I'll see that it's a successful one, well, there's higher chances that I'm going to go and purchase something. So influencers is way more than just UGC or just affiliate deals or brand awareness. There are multiple ways how you can work with influencers.
It's amazing. How does AI is obviously a pretty hot topic right now. It's been for all this year, and just generative AI in general. And it's really impacted a lot of parts of the tech stack, and, from social media all the way through to customer support and ad targeting. There's lots of stuff going on. So can you talk a little bit about how your platform is using AI? Is there like a creator matching kind of thing, or like content analysis, performance predictions? I think there's some interesting things out there. And I'm just curious what your platform currently leverages and how you use it. And then where do you see the future of AI as it relates to your platform?
Yeah, I don't believe that AI will ever replace of what we're doing, or better to say, what creators are doing and delivering to our clients. Because there are already a lot of regulations by FTC, Federal Trade Commission, and it will be even more regulations around that, because there are ethical questions. There are a lot of questions towards that, right? That's we as the humanity still trying to figure out. But I think where AI is going to be one of the most powerful things is how to empower creators and creative process. That's where our belief and how AI can help creators be more efficient as well as for the clients. So for instance, the way how we're leveraging AI currently, and this is something that we are testing right now, is a creative briefing. Creative briefing is 50% of your success. So basically, this is the task that you're going to be providing to creators. But that's also the problem, because it's not easy to create the task. It's not easy to be creative. You need to put a lot of efforts, and you cannot say that I need just great UGC that is going to be converting well. You need to say that, hey, my brand is different because of 1, 2, 3. This is what my customers are saying, my brand. This is the pain points that we are solving. Here's the benefits. Here's the call to action, right? And please provide me 3 different hooks. So you need to invest a lot of time to produce the actual creative briefing that is going to be sent to creators. So what we're doing right now, and actually this is something that we're doing with a partnership with Google. So we created the Gen AI creative briefing. So basically what we're doing for you, we are using consumer reviews on Amazon or Trustpilot and converting them, trying to identify what the pain points your customers are saying, what are the benefits that they are receiving from your brand, and converting them into the creative brief. based on your product description, based on some additional information that you would be choosing there. But in return, you can create a brief that is ready to go, or you can slightly adjust that. But there is something that you can work. You can regenerate that. But the point is that you don't need to sit down with a completely blank page and starting like, okay, I need something, right? No, there is something that you can work on and slightly adjust and making sure that it's going to be helping you to pitch creators in the right direction. This is something that we are testing right now. Again, like with a partnership with Google. And it's going to be, right now it's in a closed beta, but the results are fascinating, to be honest, Steve. Just like, wow. And we're so glad, like working with the Google. I'm going to their office here in New York and just talking about like what else we can do and bring it up. We're starting working on matching as well, how to identify the different points in a creator's portfolio or creator's stats. So in that case, you can type in what kind of creators do you need, and we're going to be just matching you with the best ones that we can match you with the help of GenAI. So that's kind of like the way how we see that GenAI is going to be applicable for our business.
Yeah. It's amazing. It reminds me of a term that it's really growing right now about prompt engineering. And I think I can see how UGC content briefs can really use. That's so interesting how you were able to scrape and or using GenAI to go live and go take a look and saying, hey, what's going on the pros and cons of a certain product? And, you know, because a lot of stuff is just publicly available, and these GenAI tools, I mean, I even use like Perplexity to do a lot of research for me on a lot of different topics, but it's all about how you are prompting. You know, generic prompt equals generic answer. And you know, GenAI is like the next possible answer is kind of what, you know, the GenAI is. But so the key is using the right words. And so it looks like, you know, you working with Google, because I know that, I mean, I use the Google product too with their Notebook LM product right now, which is, my mind is blown kind of what they've been building. And so it's great that you guys have this great partnership and can see the future. So I think that's another good takeaway for today's episode is that, you know, you're doing a lot of great things today, but there's also so much opportunity in having a great creative brief with the help of GenAI and getting out there and talking about the pros and cons and pain points. And then having a great creative brief really educates the creator, saying, oh, now I understand what the sentiment is in the market for this particular product. So I'm going to make sure that I accentuate that because that's what people love about it, or here's what people hate about it. And so I don't want to talk about that, or maybe that's more of an enhancement of the product that the brand can learn from. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love this. So I guess I'm getting near the end of the show for today, but you know, one thing I'm thinking about is about maybe the future of UGC, because I think that's the kind of my last thing I'm thinking of right now is that, you know, there's a lot of people that are not using UGC as a channel for marketing. They're just not using it yet because they've dabbled in it and didn't have the ROI that they hoped for. And I think that's what's different on your platform. So what do you tell brands that have not quite gone over the fence, over the hurdles yet about saying, yeah, I know there's benefits in doing it, but like, how do you motivate people to saying, no, you really do, you know, it's working clearly. There's case studies, you know, there's success right now. How do you motivate brands to saying, no, you really do need to try this out and it's going to be impactful for you in the future?
Look, first of all, I'm asking those brands how many pieces of the content they try to test and what was the ad budget and for how long they have been testing and what are the kind of hypotheses they have been tested. Because if it was just one hypothesis and then 5 UGC videos that they spend $1,000, I would say it's not enough to clearly say that UGC is not working for my brand, right? Because there are not thousands, it's just literally millions of businesses who are leveraging UGC right now. But also what I'm saying that UGC is not the only way what you can do. Like there are DPA creatives, right? Like based on the product catalog. There are static images. They are fighting back hardly on Facebook and they are crushing. So UGC should be in your mix, but it shouldn't be the only way how you're going to be leveraging the all success in your paid media. So I would say that If you haven't succeeded there, like what actually works for you, double down. If you see that it's not scaling, then consider to get back to UGC, but with more hypotheses, with more budget, and with more understanding that you need to find a creator persona that is going to be working really great for you.
Right.
I recently chatted with Charlie from Disruptor School.
Okay.
He's a big on YouTube and in D2C Twitter. That's the way how we call that.
Yeah.
I was recording the podcast, and then he was a powerful user of Incense 6 years ago as a paid marketer. And then he shared that the reason why he came to Incense and why he found that Incense is actually a great solution for him is that he was testing different creator persona. He was hiring like 5 mommy influencers, then 5 beauty influencers. He was trying to find the persona that people are going to be resonate with. You see what I mean? Like he was using it as a market research rather than expectation that is going to be as a result. And I think this is the right approach for the true marketer to find the right creator persona that is going to be talking to the in front of the camera about the values of your product, about the benefits of that. And just coming back, but keep in mind that UGC is not the silver bullet. It's not going to be the only, and hopefully it's not going to be the only way how you're going to be winning paid marketing. You definitely should have this in your mix.
Yeah, this is amazing. That's I've just looked at his Twitter account. So it's Professor Charlie T, the Facebook ads guy. So he is at CT the Disruptor. That's amazing. So I'll make sure I add that to the show notes. And so just before we kind of wrap up today, like, what do you believe kind of the next steps are for brands? Because I think the first thing I think of is that we're in Q4 right now. Is it too late to get involved with UGC right now on your platform, or are we still in the early days of, it depends if you're listening to this, pre or post BFCM, but there's still the full holiday season. And then how does that momentum roll over into people that got cash for Christmas or the holidays and now they want to spend it in January? So just want to know, like, is now the right time? And then what do you believe some of the next steps would be for a brand?
It's definitely a right time right now. If you're listening that before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, because the turnaround to get UGC content could be 5-7 business days. So you can get the content. But what I encourage you is not testing in new ideas or new angles, but trying to get back to the results during the year and finding the winners, what actually work for you, what is the angles work for you, and then creating the new content based on that. So it's more about reiterating of what actually worked for you before rather than testing in new hypotheses right now. And then hiring the creators with these tasks, because in that case, you can receive UGC within 5-7 business days. Moreover, we have a managed service offering where our team can help you before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, just to create the content. And in that case, it's going to be saving you tons of the time and money to make 100%. Sure that you can get that faster. But it's definitely not late. But keep in mind that you should have some concepts that have been proven during the year.
Okay. All right. That's cool. And I know we kind of had a chat before recording kind of in the green room, and I understand that you have an offer that you for those that want to kick the tires and kind of get things going here with Incense. What's that kind of listener only promotion that you want to talk about today?
Yeah, we have a special promotion for the listeners. It's $200 on your balance to hire first creators for you. It could be a couple of creators. It could be 4 creators. But this is something that you're going to be receiving once you subscribe with us.
Yeah.
Just subscribe by the link, or let us know that you heard from this podcast. And then we're going to be applying this to your balance.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I'll make sure that's all in the show notes. We'll have it at a special landing page, ecommercefastlane.com/incense. That's going to redirect to the landing page that Danil's or his team is going to get set up for you. And I'd also would highly recommend, there is a Q4 success, like roadmap ebook available on your website, kind of 6, you call it like 6 powerful organic and paid social strategies you need for Q4. The guide is on the website. I'll put a link in the show notes. It's in the header on incense.pro. But can you give us a quick overview of kind of what people expect if they get this Q4 guide?
Yeah, just like a simple guide of really easy steps, what you can do to prepare when it comes to creating the content for your ads or working with influencers, such as, again, do not test like a new hypothesis right now. It just doesn't make sense. Trying to apply those that have been proven over the course of the past years. Some of the examples that have been worked during this, how to set up the right campaigns, how to approach creators for producing content, how to launch seeding campaigns. So something really simple for you to make sure that you can take the most out of this promotion.
Yeah, I'd say, it's 22 pages. I downloaded them before recording, and like there's some good things in there. If you're not doing product seeding, or do you understand what influencer posts are and how to test for the best performance and stuff like that. And as you said in this podcast, don't turn off your evergreen ads. If they're working, you got to grind them out to the end until the ROI is not there anymore. And so it's pretty interesting. So this has been a great recording. Like I thank you. I know, I just appreciate you coming on. I know we kind of hustled a bit to make this work today. I just think it's important being in Q4 right now that the opportunity is there. I just want people to realize that, there are some legacy kind of incumbent kind of players out there in this space, but you go at it with a different approach. And that's the reason why I wanted you on today, is that you really are here to take care of the creators and build their businesses and for them to become better, because they want great ROI for their clients, for the merchants. But then on the flip side, you also are there to double down on, hey, no, we have either a done for you service or we have a self-serve option, for a monthly fee to be able to help you find creators around your brand voice and getting a great creative brief generated. I think you really are kind of a 1-2 punch. You really are there to help both sides of the equation. And I just want to commend you and the team on that. And I want to wish you, continued success for the remainder of Q4 and into next year. But thanks again for recording.
Thanks so much, Steve.
Have yourself a great afternoon. Well, that's it for today's episode. I'd like to thank you personally for being a loyal listener of E-commerce Fastlane. It's my hope that this podcast is offering you a ton of value through growth strategies, tactics, and exclusive insider tips on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms, all with my personal goal to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company powered by Shopify. Thanks for investing some time today and listening to the show. I'm so proud and excited that you have a growth mindset and are a constant learner. I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. Enjoy the rest of the week and keep thriving with Shopify.